Hello everyone. Today we choose that is the network protocol and mobile IP. Network protocol, it is the mobile network protocol. It introduces protocols and mechanisms developed for the network layer to support mobility, portability. In mobility support, the Internet Network Layer Protocol, that is IP, the system like GSM have been designed with some mobility, and the internet started at a time when no one had mm, discussed about that related to some competence. And today's scenario already we know internet having the lacks of mechanisms to support users for the traveling around the world, and IP is the common base for thousands of applications and runs over the different networks, uses the some different networks. The another kind of mobility, already we seen that there are main two aspects that is the related to mobility, that is the mobility and portability. This is then mobility and portability of equipment is supported by the host configuration, that is the dynamic host configuration, that is the DHCP. And today, some due to laptops or notebooks, students show up at university with their computers and want to plug them in or use wireless some access. And in today's chapters, we have to see the some ad hoc network combinations with some network layers. And this is the some fast growing field of research as well as some application orientation and some different standards. And here, no any dedicated routers or databases. And lastly, we seen some different computer architectures, some OSI models, and how it utilize, it functions. That already we seen in previously. But mobile IP, it needs some extensions to support the mobility host, and it having some good references for the original standards, that is some RFC standard, Perkins, Solomon. This is some development of mobile IP, and it is the some mechanisms and a very good overview which is includes and detailed description of IP is given in the scientist, that is Steven. Some motivations for mobile IP. The routing and the solution about the motivation for mobile IP. It is the based on some internet protocol and destination addresses. The example will be given, that is the 129.13.42. It is the determines some physical subnet, that is a physical layer, and change of physical subnet is equal to change of IP address. Obviously, it will be change the some IP address when physical subnet will be changed, and it having some topological correct address, that is the standard IP. What was for the working purpose solution, that is the temporarily change in routing table as well as some entries for the mobile host purpose. And problem will be occurs, it does not scale in many mobile hosts as well as some location changes. Frequently some location will be changes. So another solution, that is change in mobile host as well as some IP addresses, change the IP addresses, adjust the IP addresses depending on the some current locations. DNS updates for the, it will be take some long time, that is the dynamic addresses. It is possible and it will be used in many computer users have a dynamic IP, and dynamic IP address still want to be permanently reachable using the some logical computer operations. Another one, old TCP connections. This is having some problems, and which changing the IP address while still having some TCP connections, and it is the breaking the connection. A TCP connection is identified the some source IP address, source port, some destination IP address, destination port. Also, it is also known as some socket pair, and it is socket consists of, that is the addresses and ports. And this is the details of the motivations for the mobile IP. And it having some requirements, because any when you go to the some protocols as well as some mobile IPs network protocols, we have to require some trial as well as finally we have to require some requirements. Here is the some requirement about the first one, that is the transparency. Mobile end system keeps IP address. The transparency means it to require mobility should remain invisible for many higher layer protocols and applications. And it besides maybe noticing some lower bandwidth as well as some interruption in services, some continuous service, the link interruption will be gets. The mobile computer has changed its point of attachment to the network, the TCP. This means the computer must keep its IP address. Some point of connections to the fixed network can be changed. And this is about the some transparency. There are some application which is better to be mobility aware, and cost based routing or video compressions, and currently possible to use some different networks. And this is given in some points about the transparency. Now we go to the next, that is some requirements about the compatibility. No changes to current host, that is the OS, operating system and routers. The installed base of internet computers, that is some computers running TCP and IP and connected to the some internet, is huge. That is the new standard. Cannot introduce some changes for applications or some network protocols. Already used, and people also wants use their favorite browser, that is the www, and do not want to change some application just for mobility, and it having some holds for operating systems. And mobile IP has to integrate it into some existing operating system. And today it is available for some many platforms. Authentications also for the all registration messages, and system can communicate with some its system securities. The mobile IP has to ensure that users can still access all the other servers and systems in the internet. Now the next one is the security, that is the authentication of all registration messages. It having some many problems, security problems. The minimum requirement is all the messages are related to some management of mobile IP, and it is the some authenticated but in IP layer must be sure that it is forwards of packet to mobile host. There are no ways of preventing fake IP addresses for other attacks. According to internet, this is left to higher layers and keep the core of the internet simple for the security purpose. After next requirement, that is the efficiency and scalability. This is a new part of the internet for the, and it requires some efficiency. Mobility must not generate too many new messages, that is the flooding for the whole network. Special care has to be taken considering the some lower bandwidth of some wireless links. Many mobile system will have some wireless link for the attachment point, some global support for large number of some mobile systems. Many of them will have some IP implementation inside in between the some different networks and require some mobile IP. And it is very crucial for a mobile IP to be scalable over some large number of participants in the whole internet as well as worldwide. This is some requirements, that is the transparency, compatibility, security, efficiency, and this is some theoretical concepts related to some requirements and motivation of network protocol and mobile IP. The main entities and terminology behind the network protocol and mobile IP. That is the mobile first one, that is the mobile node. So mobile node is an some end system or a router that can change its point of attachment to the internet using some mobile IPs. And mobile node keeps its IP address and can continuously communicate with any other system in the internet. That is the link layer connectivity is given. And mobile nodes are not necessarily small devices such as laptops, PDA, that is the digital assistants, with antennas or mobile phones. And this is about some mobile node related. Next one, that is the home agent. Home agent provides several services for the mobile node, and it is located in the home network. The tunnel for packet forwarding, that is the MN, starts at the home agent. So home agent maintains some local registry. It maintains some local registry, and it is informed to the mobile node locations. The router, home network of the mobile node, and helps for the forwarding purpose. And it registers some current mobile node locations for IP datagrams for the COA, that is the current locations. And home agent can implement it on router that is responsible for the home network. This is obviously the best position because without some related to mobile IP, and changing the some router operations. And one disadvantage of the solution is the double crossing of the router by the packet if the mobile node is in some foreign networks. In the home network is not necessarily at all. The home agent could be again on the router, but this time only acting as some manager as in mobile node. The next entity, that is the foreign agent, it provides several services of mobile nodes during the visit to the foreign networks. Current foreign network of the mobile nodes, and forward some tunnel datagrams to the mobile node. Foreign agent can have some COA, that is current COA. The foreign agent can also provide security services because they belong to some foreign network, and it is opposed to some mobile nodes. The COA, that is the care of address. Care of address, it is the defines some current locations of the mobile node from IP point of view. All IP packets sent to the some mobile node are delivered to the some care of addresses. Here also some different care of addresses, that is the foreign agent care of address COA, co-located COA. That foreign agent, that is the care of addresses could be located at the foreign agent. That is the care of address is an IP address of the foreign address. Sorry, foreign agent. Another one, that is the co-located COA, is the mobile node temporarily acquired an additional IP address which acts as a care of addresses. Another one, that is the correspondent node. At least one partner is needed for the communication. In the correspondent node represents this partner for the mobile node, and the correspondent node can be fixed for the mobile node. And this is the entities and terminologies of the mobile IPs. Next part we will continue on then next video. Today we seen the basic theoretical part related to network protocol and mobile IP, that is some routings, what is the overcoming purpose solutions, some requirements, that is some transparency, what is the transparency, compatibility, what is the security, some efficiency and scalability, and how it overcomes, and what is the necessity and requirements, and some terminology and requirements we see in the details. That is the mobile node, home agent, some foreign agent, some care of addresses, some correspondent node. And this is the some requirement and entities for the example orientation. And we will see the details. We will take the examples in next session of the next part of network protocol and mobile IP. Okay, we'll stop here. Thank you.